Alright, let's give it another go. 10-2 against Computer Impossible. I'm due for a win. Let's see if I can make that happen. Okay, I'm going to shoot for c4. c5 maybe? e6? g6? Okay. I think it's known to play bishop to b4. No. This is really not the structure I wanted. I would much rather bishop b4, exchange dark square bishops, and then plant my pawns on dark squares. But something much different here. I don't know how big a fan I would be with pushing d5. I don't think I get good games against the computer with that. So I'm looking at e3. Let's go with e3. Much more reserved approach. a6. That seems very slow. Not really. It's anticipating d5. d5 takes, and then there's a quick b5. I wonder, knight c3 or bishop to e2 here? I don't know that I want to bring my knight out just yet. Let's think, though. Knight c3... Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with bringing the knight out, actually. I want to retain some options with my bishop. In fact, exactly this. After d5, I don't know if I want to play my bishop to e2 just yet. Bishop e2 takes, bishop takes, so a6 is going to be useful in that line as well. I think I could actually do similar. Let me also get in a3 and look for ideas of capturing and then expanding with b4, okay? We have the immediate takes to recapture. So I'm going to be working with an isolated pawn. Where to go with the bishop? d3 or e2? I'm going to drop all the way back. Stay out of the way of, let's say, c4 with tempo. Let's castle. And I'll certainly consider capturing on this square only after the bishop has moved. Maybe even right now, though. Maybe even still at this stage. Pretty symmetrical. If I capture bishop takes, b4, bishop b7, I'm still a move up. What other candidate moves are there here? I think I have to go with this capture. Let's get it in. I don't know that I could have really made a useful move. Maybe h3, but okay. So I need to get him developed, so I think the way to do that is with b4. I think both of us do well to keep the tension between the queens, and you know what's being prepped? Knight here. The big difference here after bishop b7 is related to our king bishops. I think I have to get him here, so let's get that in. Yeah, our king bishops are the big difference here. If he's right here right now, it's perfectly symmetrical, everything. So this is the only difference in the position. I'm on move, clearly. c5 is weak. If I could manage a dark square bishop exchange and plop a knight right here in c5, that would be nice. That's a bit off, though. This knight's ready to jump in here, and after recapture the bishop, we'll be pinning my knight to my bishop. The rooks are going to be occupying the d file soon. Rook f to d8. I think I need to find a good home for my queen. What moves are there here? Queen b3. It's kind of tough. Queen b3, this knight move here, hitting at f3 a couple times. I think I'd like to have, after knight e5, a knight exchange and then bishop to f3 available. Let's go with rook a c1 first. Yeah, let's do that first. And are we going to have knight e5? No? Okay, so still pretty symmetrical, except for these king bishops. Useful move might be h3. Where would this queen really go? I I wonder if on queen c7 I would have bishop takes b5, takes, knight takes, and I have a fork. That might be available, although on h3, queen c7, if bishop takes b5, there might be rook d8, threatening bishop h2, grabbing my queen. I wonder what other candidate moves there are. I'm a bit hesitant to maybe throw my knight into d4. I don't want to allow this bishop to be unmasked so easily. I think I should go with this, get a useful move in. Okay, so we have some knight moves. So my first thought is that I could maybe now make use of my f3 knight. We were both fighting for these dark squares, so he's no longer eyeing these squares up. I wonder. Where is he going, actually? Knight f5? Not quite sure what that's doing. How about I occupy the center here? Knight d4, looking for, let's say, bishop here. Bishop f3? My light squares are going to be very weak. This bishop is much better than my bishop here, though. I think I would need to release the pressure in some way. Bishop f3. Okay, let's get some trades in, and I got to get my queen off of the same file as the rook, so let's go with this. And now, I wonder if pawn takes is worth something here. You know what, if pawn takes, yes, it's a flight square, but I think a knight arriving on this square would be very annoying. So I think I need to keep the structure as is. And let's see, where exactly is this knight going? All four knights offset one another. I need to get my f-rook working. Get my king a bit over here. And, oh, he really needs to go. Yeah, he definitely needs to go. Black does not have a flight square just yet. I cannot allow the knight to get into c4, and so I think I'm quite limited with my reply here. Taking the bishop does not work because of knight takes knight first with check, so let's go with this. And then, I believe take on d8, and then knight where? This knight is going to be very strong. Let's see. What about exchanging rooks and then playing f4? Exchange rooks, f4, bishop takes. Bishop takes. I could plant up on this square. I think I might go for that. Yeah, let's definitely go for this. I'm weakening my light squares. But I should have a strong bishop on d4 and an active rook. Okay. I believe I take like this. However, hang on for a moment. Bishop takes. There's going to be rook c8. Then we're going to have a very good knight versus a bad bishop situation. I think I need to keep the rooks on board. Alright, well, let's do it. Black still needs a flight square. This rook can't go too far. Now, what's that knight up to? Rook here? Looking to push that knight away? And actually, he'll go nowhere. Rook here. f5, and that knight is cemented right in there. Tricky spot here. Rook d3, f5. I don't even know where to go from that point. Rook d3, f5, bishop d4. There's knight takes e3. I think I need to go after the a pawn and allow the e pawn to get picked up. Very difficult. Yeah, I have to stay active with my rook. I think this is my best opportunity. It's not the best direction to go in against the computer, but I have to shoot for it. Still needs a flight square. I imagine f6 is a good flight square. No, h5 is the better one, of course. Light square. I was thinking f6 to blunt this diagonal. But okay, I can't play rook here to either of these squares because of knight c4. That is a bug. This, if I approach with my king, knight c4. Oh, forget about that. Knight d1. King f2, knight d1. Oh, man. You know, I don't have a great square for my bishop either. The rook's ready to give a couple checks. I'm in a very difficult spot. Let's get my bishop to a safe square, maybe. I don't know. Very difficult spot. Rook here. Why not? And I think I have to go after a pawn. I wonder if it's worthwhile to insert a check first before I go after this guy on b5. I'll play here right now. So rook takes pawn is going to happen with check, or that. I think I need to stay clear of any tricky forks. So let's go here. Stay far away from the knight. That was my only move. And gotta get that pawn. I'm on this guy. My rook is going to get trapped, though. Rook takes pawn, knight f5. Wow. My rook is killed. That's not cool. I don't know how to save my rook. Rook takes pawn, knight f5. I am in a losing position here. Time is irrelevant. Bishop d6. It's very difficult to get my pawn rolling. It's not going to go for a rook trade, but let's just try it. Bishop d6, I guess. Very difficult spot. So now that pawn's going to fall. With check, everything's crumbling. Now they have a passed h-pawn. They should get right behind that pawn. I have to stick around here to defend against this guy. I can't even get him pushing. Let's play to a7. At least he'll be there to help with the promotion square. I'll step up. I feel like I'm going in the direction of getting mated. It's going to happen. Pawn push, knight g3 ideas. Yeah, I had an idea. Let's get pushing. Rook b2. I'm not going anywhere. I have to defend here against a knight check on g3. Oh, there's also that. Okay, I gotta play here. This isn't working. Oh, I was thinking there's a check I could take him still. Oh man, I'm getting flushed right away. That's ball game h2, and that's a good spot to resign. This is game over. Ouch. Oh, I got crunched. That was terrible. I wonder if my decision, I was pointing out the big difference here was the king bishops. So I'm wondering at this point here, the decision to actually drop back to e2. When questioned with b5, I'm wondering if bishop d3 is better. Staying on this diagonal and making way for an eventual knight hop into e4, or maybe another way to look at it is to get in an e4 advance. You know, I think during the game, I was pointing out that I wanted to stay clear of a c4 push with tempo, like if I'm playing here. But I think that's a poor thought, because that would, of course, release the pressure on my center. I would have a 2-1 majority, and then at least I could look into this active plan with e4, maybe e5. I think this is a better choice after b5 instead of coming all the way back to e2. Again, that's where there was the big difference here. Perfectly symmetrical from this position here if I have the bishop on d3. Yeah, it was kind of tough, because at this stage right here, if I did have my bishop on this square, I would really like to just throw my knight into e4, release my bishop, put pressure on f6. What just happened there? But yeah, if my bishop was here, this is a new move that would be possible. But yeah, clearly wasn't working out. But okay, lesson learned. I'll maybe try for another time with this variation with the bishop planting up to d3 and see if that'll do a little bit better. Anyhow, I'll have to give this a go for another time. That's all I'm going to do for right now. And as always, I hope you got something out of this video. Take care. Bye.